Hello, my friend, it's Pat Sloan, and it is Sizzle Friday. We're on the Jelly Sizzle this month on Fridays. And so here is my center with all of the extra bonus border pattern that I did set up. And I did this yellow. So here is the fabric that I had selected. And I got enough, I should have enough for the backing. So here's the yellow that I picked, and I am in love. This is so wonderful. It just feels like spring and summer all rolled into one. I think it's the yellow that does it with the teal. I'm so glad I went with the teal. And I did get more of the teal, so I can do the binding with that too. Now the border pattern that I wrote is for this size. Where is it? Oh, here it is. So the border pattern is for this size quilt. Now, if you are making one of the other sizes, because the pattern is a free pattern Jelly Sizzle and it has multiple size quilts, so you know there's different size quilts. So if you are doing a different size quilt, then just add up how many more intersection units, how many more pinwheel units. So then you can see how many more strips you need, because these are just strips and half square triangles is all you're doing. And it will be the identical size. You will just need more of them for a bigger quilt. And so that's really easy to do. It's really easy to expand like that. Now today I will, here's the half square triangles that are for the bottom part and the corners. So I will be sewing this up and show you on the next video, hopefully. That's on Saturday's video that I haven't done. Now there are the cutoffs from the pinwheels inside each block. So I kept all those and I trimmed them. And so now I have the stack. So next Friday, I'm going to look at some ways to use these. You know, what are some options and ways to use these? You know, maybe something fun. They could be a table runner. You could add it to here. You could add it to the backing. You could just make some blocks for your block collection. We all have one of those, right? These are the blocks, mine. The whole big basket of blocks that I need to do something with. That basket is really full. I can't hardly add any more in there. So now that's our Jelly Sizzle for today. I did buy 2 other jelly rolls that are the same when I was getting the jelly roll that I used. The one that I used is called Cozy Up, and it's by my friend Corey Yoder, and it's at my website today. Will be a link to that if you love those fabrics. I also got my friend Joanna's fabric called Fresh Fig Favorites. So this one has a lot more light colors in it. And I got 2 of them because I thought this would make a fabulous charity quilt because it is so easy to do. So I know that I will use those upcoming. I might actually do some sort of, you know, in between other projects kind of quilt, just get blocks made and then put them together because it goes so fast. I know a lot of you have actually made and finished your entire Jelly Sizzle already, particularly this size, which goes really quick. All right, I do have a question. One of our friends, Lori, yes, Lori wrote me because this is a question for Quilts for Ukraine. So Lori's cousin's wife is Ukrainian, and she is right now in the process of trying to get her mother and her brother into the U.S. to be with them because they've escaped Ukraine. She cannot get her father, of course, because he has to stay and fight the war. So sad. But she was wondering whether anybody there in North Carolina, whether there is anybody out there that is making a quilt for Ukraine, a refugee quilt in blue and yellow, that would want to donate to, to give their quilt to her family members that are coming in. She lives in another state. She lives across the country herself. But she thought if somebody in North Carolina might be making them, this would be just sort of a wonderful welcome and hug from Quilters. So if you are a person who would like to donate your blue and yellow quilt, just email me. Email me, pat@patsloan.com, and then I will put you in touch with Lori so that you can get the information about where to ship it. Okay? So this is a query. It is, some countries now outside of Europe are starting to get refugees and Ukrainian refugees. So there will be need in our own communities for helping and welcoming the people here. Okay, I have some mail call and then a few other things. So mail call first is from Carol in Indiana. Look. Look at the sheep cart. Isn't that adorable? Everybody writes, and you all write such wonderful notes to me. They are just so awesome. So she sent me some selvages. Look at this. Okay, look at this one. This is from a fabric line called Sprinkle Sunshine. Okay, half pint. This is for you. This is for you. Sprinkle Sunshine. I'm not sure who it's by. Oh, there we go. Oh, this is a Kimberbell from my friend Kim. That is just the cutest thing ever. All of those little images. Okay, I also have a super fun little package from who's this? From Karen in Washington. So there's a beautiful card. Look at that with the sunflowers for Ukraine, right? Maybe not for Ukraine, but that's what we're thinking when we see sunflowers. Okay, so she sent me some salvages and some, so here's, this one says moo on it, moo ba. Bunch of other salvages and a couple pieces of train fabric, which is so neat. Mr. Greg likes trains. This one's a children's train, but here's a more adult trains. So these are kind of cool. I appreciate that. And she sent me crocheted peeps, bunny peeps. Oh my gosh, these are so stinking cute. Look at them. Look at their little faces. This is so awesome. So Karen, you outdid yourself. And she says these won't melt in the coffee. Which is true. And then one more from, okay, I have to see who this one's from. Oh, it's Nylene. Yes. Is it Nylene? I think so. Okay, Nylene from California. So the beautiful lemons on there. And she sent me very springy. I think she did a whole quilt. And all of the edges, the salvages from that project. They're gorgeous. Plus, look at these beautiful See's Easter candies. Aren't they pretty? They made it here perfectly. No melting. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Mwah. And now, for the Great Community Give, which is going on for the Virginia Quilt Museum, that I am the unofficial ambassador of the Virginia Quilt Museum, so I'm always wanting to let you know what's happening. So right now we're doing the Great Community Give, which is till the 19th of the month of April, where when you donate, sometimes they can get matching funds for that, and it's just a way to bring awareness to the museum. And what I'm doing is in a few of these videos is telling you a bit about where your money goes when you donate to the museum to help save our stories. So there are exhibits, of course. So exhibits have to have the curators paid for, the staff paid for, shipping of the quilts to the facility, back from the facility. Signage has to be put up, and that has to, there's all the different, fees that have to go and things that have to happen. But I want to tell you a few of the exhibits that are going on or just coming up. So right now, that just opened, which sounds fabulous, it's called the Rainbow Connection, the colors, pigments, and dyes. This is like our secret lives of color, right, in quilts. So what they've done is they're featuring historic quilts from the collection, from the museum's collection, and talking about the dyes that are used in them and the colorations. So that is so cool. This is one of the quilts from that. And if you go to their website, the Virginia Quilt Museum website, you can see a few other quilts from each of these exhibits. Okay, the Endangered Species exhibit is in progress as well. It's already been going on since March, and this is curated by my friend Donna DeSoto, who also wrote a book that goes with it. And people, when she did this, I did the Elvis one with her, and I did, I'm on her list, so I know some of the other ones too. this is how she runs these curated exhibits, which is really cool. She puts out a call, and then she has the theme. So in this case, it is endangered species. For Elvis, it was the songs inspired by Elvis, was the songs of Elvis. And then what she does is has a list. So she has already gone through and put together a list. Like for Elvis, she had a list of songs, and you would pick a song and design a quilt in a specific size. And for endangered species, she went through and already had a list of the different things. So then the artists and the designers and the quilters around the world can sign up to make one, and then your quilt is made and it goes on exhibit travel for quite a while. So when you make it, you know it's being made to be exhibited, so it'll be in the book, and then it'll be going on exhibit, and it'll be gone for quite a few years at some times. So like mine, as pandemic didn't help any because nothing was being shown, so she just held them. But you know, that is it's quite fun. It's exciting to have that challenge and to see it then arrive at different locations to be on the exhibit. And I got to see mine in several locations. And then the last one is that they have coming up. Oh, it's coming up now. They've already they'll be hanging it the 16th. So it is for 9/11. So there are some of the 9/11 blocks that were made into small quilts by one of the groups. So you can see those at the Virginia Quilt Museum. And the Community Give tab is down below, the link to it, and at my website today. So I hope you will join in preserving our quilt history through the Virginia Quilt Museum. Okay, I have one more thing. On the end of the month, the last Monday, April 25th, Benartex is doing one of their trunk shows. They do one spring and fall video trunk show. It's live, and then it will be run on their YouTube afterwards. So I have 2 fabric lines that I'm going to show you that are upcoming, and they've been working behind the scenes to get a top done from one of them. So let me just show you first just a quick sneak peek of the two of them. I don't usually have 2 things come at once, but sometimes that just happens, you know, timing. So this is Promise Me, which is what I'm doing here to make a quilt top, and we'll have a great sampler sew along to do with that one. And then I have the Sleepover, which is this picture. And the Sleepover is so fun. Just think like, you know, back when you were a teenager, and the sort of the vibe and the fabrics, and you know, maybe the sheets on your bed, which is why what was Sleepover for its name. So you could sign up at the link below and at my website today to come to the live event, which you could ask some questions, and there's a chat room open, or you can watch it later on the YouTube. Okay, my friend, I'm so glad you were here. We're going to sizzle along today. Get this outer border done so that our project can wrap up at the end of the month, and you can actually get it quilted and use it. So I love you. Mwah. Thank you for being here in the Sloan Zone. I will see you online.